Hello students! For the month of December, I have a special treat for you all. We are going to have a Snowflake Art Series. Each week, I will show you different ways to make fun snowflake forms. These snowflakes can make really special gifts for friends and family, or you can use them to decorate your home. For this week, I will show you 2 different ways to create cutout snowflakes out of paper. Let's begin. For our cutout snowflakes, you will need at least 2 sheets of white printer paper, 2 sheets of colored construction paper or tissue paper, an adhesive of your choice, here I use a glue stick, a pencil, and scissors. Take 1 sheet of printer paper and create a square just as we had done in our past origami projects. Take 1 corner of your paper and bring it to the opposite edge, lining it up well to create a triangle as shown here. Fold the excess rectangle from the triangle to create a line. Then, cut along that fold to create your square. We will be needing to keep our square folded as a triangle. From here, we will be making more folds, which will create 8 sections on the triangle, starting with the first 4 sections. Fold the triangle in half to make a smaller triangle. Take 1 flap, fold it in half again, turn your work over, and fold it in half on the opposite side. When you open it up, you will have 4 sections. Now let's make 8 sections. You are going to fold each of the 4 sections in half to create 8 sections in the large triangle as shown here. Follow along, play the video back if you need to. When you are finished, unfold back to the main triangle to check your work. Create an accordion fold by folding the triangle back and forth at each crease. Once all the folds are closed, we are going to trim down our work to make a more snowflake shape rather than a square when it's all unfolded. Draw a dash line mark on one side to show where the shortest sections of your work are located. If you cut at this line, which you could, you would then create a circle out of your square. But what I did was draw a solid diagonal line from one end of the dash line down to the opposite side of the work as shown here. Cutting on this solid line creates a star shape. The choice is yours. I also put an X to mark the negative space that will be removed once I cut on the line to make sure I am removing the correct piece. The more pieces we remove from the snowflake, the more difficult it will be to see where to cut. The X marks are going to be very helpful. Here is the star snowflake shape I created. I am now going to fold it in half and begin drawing my cutouts, starting with the outer folds. Draw 3 triangles on each outer fold. Put an X inside each triangle. Make sure you are removing the right area and cut out those triangles. Once the first 6 triangles are removed, fold the edges inward and draw 6 triangles in between the triangles you just removed on the new outer folds. Place an X inside your new 6 triangles and start cutting them out. Make sure you do not cut past the triangles you draw, or else you will lose your pattern. When you open up your new cutouts, it should look like 6 diamond shapes, as shown in the top right corner. If any of these steps are going too fast, pause to look at the images in the corner to check your work. Now we are going to do the exact same thing on the next outer folds as shown here. Draw another set of inner triangles in between the cuts you just made. Now that there are more holes, your snowflake is becoming more fragile. Cut slowly and carefully along the lines you make as shown here. Do not forget to mark an X inside each triangle. It really helps, especially for the next pattern snowflake I will show you once this one is complete. Now all we have left is the fold in the center. Fold your snowflake in half and draw your last 3 triangles on one side. cut it out, and then your first cutout snowflake is complete. Remember the rectangle scraps we had set aside? Let's bring them back and practice drawing bubble letters on them. Let's pretend the long sides of our rectangles are folds in our snowflake. What we are going to do is draw a word in bubble letters and cut around those letters to create a snowflake pattern. A good way to practice bubble letters is by drawing the letters of the word you would like to use in regular capitalized print. Here I wrote the word happy in capital letters. Then outline your letters, maximizing the space you have on the rectangle. Here I drew a dotted dash line to outline my letters so I would not get them confused with the solid lines I used to write the word happy. Your outline should have some of it going past the imaginary fold as shown here. Remember how we mark X's in the negative spaces? That's what we're going to do here. Once you are finished outlining your word, mark an X or shade in where you would like removed pieces. Once you are done with that, cut out all the negative spaces along the dash lines very carefully as shown here. This is what it would look like if you were to cut multiple folds from your word onto a snowflake. But our snowflake folds are usually a triangle instead of a rectangle, yes? So now, what I'm going to do is take the second rectangular scrap I have and cut out a triangle to pretend that this is a folded snowflake. We are going to draw the word happy again, but now in the parameters of the triangle instead of the rectangle. Remember to maximize your space as best as you can to get a nice result. Write those letters as large and as wide as possible. Then, dash line the outline around it. Cut out the negative space. Once you're comfortable with these cutouts, you are ready for the next step. It is time to cut out your word onto an actual snowflake shape. I am going to set my practice words in the corner as a reference guide. Take your second printer paper, fold it in half, then fold one flap in half once more, turn it over, and repeat. For this snowflake, that's the last of our folds. We don't want too many folds for this snowflake because it would make it very difficult to cut. On the last snowflake we did, we cut a new set of triangles at each fold, whereas here, we are going to cut multiple folds of paper all at once, so be very careful with your scissors. Here I started my word with the inside of the snowflake to the left and the opening to the right. You can use any word you want. I have also had students write their name for their snowflake. As I have said before, the X marks really come in handy for this snowflake as there are many markings. Cut out the wrong marking and you may lose your pattern. Another reminder that this time you are cutting through multiple layers of paper, which will make it a little more difficult. Take your time and cut very slowly and carefully. Once you are done, open it up and see your Optical Illusion snowflake come to life. Do you see where your word spells out? Now we are going to glue our snowflakes onto the colored construction paper. While we are doing that, notice in the corner of the video I am cutting out another pattern. If you would like to try a different snowflake pattern for more inspiration, feel free to grab more printer paper and follow the video in the corner to see what my other snowflake patterns look like. In the third snowflake, I did more curved cutouts and hearts. I also did another word cutout snowflake using the word snow. Which word did you decide to cut out? Once you are done gluing, cut a little bit outside the edges of your snowflake to create a nice border. If you would like, you could also use tissue paper instead of construction paper to glue onto your snowflake. If you use colorful tissue paper, your snowflake would make a great sun catcher taped against a window. And here are my cutout snowflakes. This was a fun project to share with you, and I cannot wait to share with you the one for next week. Until next time, take care and stay creative.